Hey, what's up? It's your boy Master Wealth, MW. And the topic of today's video, as you can see from the thumbnail, is going to be pulling from another time and place. Yesterday we spoke about deciding whether an emotion served you or not, and how to produce emotions you want, And to summarize that, you could always go back and take a look at that video. There's more information there, but to summarize that, the key is feeling and being in it. But in order to feel and be in it, you have to have the space to do so, right? So today's discussion is going to be building off of that previous video, and we're going to be discussing ways on, like the title says, how to pull from another time and place to get the desired emotions that you want quicker. And so this technique, I call it, I'm pretty sure there are other names for it, but I call it emotionally jumping. Have you ever seen the movie Jumper? It's about a guy that travels from place to place, city to city, town to town, state to state, country to country, location to location, through teleportation. And it's not really prevalent to this discussion, the entirety of the movie, but just the premise, just the ability to jump is what stood out to me, and it's what I'm really latching onto with this pulling from another time and place. You're literally jumping through time and space, mentally and emotionally, to pull from a specific point in your life where you felt that emotion. And that's powerful, right? So you're jumping through time and space, and you're experiencing that emotion. You're remembering, you're living, you're seeing, you're feeling everything you felt at that moment as best as you can remember it. And you're pulling that back, and you're bringing it with you here automatically. Once you jump into that time and space, you've automatically brought it there, because now you're connecting the 2 points in time, because you're still here, you're still in the present, but you're also back there, and you've effectively created a link, which is pretty powerful. So I guess the only thing that I would say, if somebody were to come to me and tell me that, hey, look, I don't have, for say they're trying to feel joy, and they're really depressed and they can't feel joy. And granted, there are definitely, those cases are valid. Those cases are not invalid. Those cases are valid. Everybody goes through some shit. Nobody's life is similar to another person's life. They can be, but not everybody's life is similar to another person's, right? So there could be somebody out there, there could be you out there who feels as if they haven't felt joy, true joy. But I would like to challenge you, if joy was your emotion, right? Or whatever emotion you would say that you haven't felt. I would like to challenge you. I'd like to challenge you on that, because in order for you to know pain, you must know joy, right? In order for you to know grief, sorrow, you must know happiness, elatedness, infatuation. You must know lack of. You must know the contrary. So there are definitely times where you felt something opposite, something that you've known and you felt before, and that you're feeling for right now. You've definitely felt it, or else you wouldn't know how to project that feeling that you wanted to feel again. And I'm definitely open to discussion. I'm definitely open to hashing this out in whichever way you want to go about it. It's a very deep and an interesting discussion to have, but this is what I believe, and this is what I've experienced, right? Another way that you can do this is by going out and experiencing more, right? It takes a lot of, if you want to, let's stick with happiness right now. If you want to experience happiness, then I would say you would first need to do the sort of work that we discussed in a previous video. And that's having alone time, getting to know yourself better, spending that time doing the work, and understanding, embracing your shadow self, right? The shadow work, the stuff that not everybody sees, right? We all go out, we walk around, and we try to present the best versions of ourselves to other people, which is completely normal, and that's completely normal. But there are points and feelings and intentions and things that are repressed and that are hidden in the shadows, right? And those are the type of works that you'll have to get used to. That we'll all have to get used to embracing and dealing with and realizing with in order for us to create the space which we can use to cultivate the sort of things we want in life, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, right? Mentally as well. You can't have a whole bunch of clutter and expect there to be space for something new, right? So you need to kind of clear the space, and clearing the space energetically is not throwing away emotions. It's actually transmuting emotions, right? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? So you can't destroy emotions that you feel, but you can transmute them, right? Into something that's more malleable and less defined. And that's the neutral state, right? So if you're in a negative state, if you're feeling any negative emotions, you transmute those into the, as close as you can to the neutral state of the spectrum, right? Because if we look at a spectrum, wish I had a diagram, I would have shown it on the screen, but if you could just imagine a spectrum, any way that you want to imagine it, whether that's a number line or whether that's a ladder, towards the middle of that number line or ladder are the neutral-ish emotions, the emotions closest to a neutral state of being. Towards the end of the ladders, you get the poles, you get the happiness, and the anger and all of the negative and the positive emotions towards the ends of that ladder or the number line, however you want to view that and visualize that, however that comes to you. There's a range of emotions that we fluctuate from, and the range can be as sporadic as that. The whole thing is trying to be as close to the center as possible, those neutral emotions, right? We have more control to manifest and mutate and alchemically transmute emotions from one to another, right? That's where the power is. So you need to be good at that state first, right? That's for those that say they haven't experienced it, right? Like I said, in order to get there, you need to really think deeply about it. Because again, my standpoint is that everybody has felt every emotion, whether that's the lowest or the highest. We've all felt every emotion, right? And again, I'm open to discussions for that. Now, I think here's where I would like to sort of bring in a sort of caveat to this sort of technique, because the technique could also be similar to emotional anchoring. And I've spoken about it yesterday a little bit, But I feel it's fair to bring it up again today, being that these two techniques are similar, right? Emotional anchoring, which is different from this emotional jumping, right? The emotional anchor is something a lot more persistent, right? And the famous example that I like to use or that we hear a lot is the person or those of us that, we've all been here, we've all been in this state where somebody has done us dirty and we want revenge. We want, like, for the guys, right? Us guys are normally guilty of this, right? Guilty or not, guilty is just a word. But we normally do this where we'll have this girl that we really liked, loved even, and she breaks our hearts. She hurts us in a way that destroys us, right? Or destroys the version of us that we were at that time. And for a point in time, we do things to get revenge. We say, okay, fuck you, bitch. I'm going to level up in a way that when you see me again, you're going to regret it, or you're going to feel this way, or you're going to realize what you missed, or whatever. That's more along the lines of emotional anchoring, because yes, you can use that anger as fuel to create enough desire and passion for you to get to your goals at that time. But if you stay in that state, if you stay there, you're stuck in that time and place. You're stuck being the guy that's trying to get back at his ex. You're stuck there, right? And that's not where you want to be. You never want to be stuck in a time and place, because now that if you're stuck there, you've stunted your growth. You're no longer growing. And your job as a man, I believe as an individual personally, but usually as a man, you're the yang, your job is to be forever growing and knowledgeable, so yeah, that's where I would take it. So you never want to be caught in the emotional anchor, right, for too long. But you can use the emotional jumping. This is your boy MW, gone.